To aid me in drawing these walls, I'm going to create some reference planes first, and I'll explain them as I draw them. So it's over here, so just let me go back. So it's in the Architecture tab, it's under Work Plane, it's under Reference Plane, and I'm going to draw the outline of the building roughly in proportion. Notice there's no chain, and notice I'm deliberately extending these walls out a little bit past the intersection point. So if I flick back now to my PDF, I can barely tell that we've got an overall of 16550. I'm going to start using my temporary dimensions to adjust these. Remember, I start with the external walls first, and then I'm going to move and adjust these ones. Sorry, not walls, reference planes. So I click on this one using my temporary dimensions. Remember that anything blue can be edited, anything with a dot can be dragged, a blue dot. So I'm dragging my temporary dimension so that it gives me the dimension for the overall, and I'll type in 16550, enter. And flip back, I'm just going to do one at a time here. 10670. I'm going to create this one. Up pops my temporary dimension. It's not dimensioning the bit I want. I need to click, drag, and you can see how it's highlighting, which means it's selected. Now I click on the blue temporary dimension, and I've forgotten what it was. 10670. Alright, so I've got those two. So I've got that correct and those two correct. So just to remind me that I've got them sorted and I don't need to touch them again, nor do I want to touch them again. I'm going to select that line, holding down my control key. You can see the little plus symbol coming up when I hold down the control symbol, and that one. And up here is a pin option in my contextual tab. So what that means is that if I click and try and move or delete, hitting the delete button, that nothing will happen. It doesn't mean that I can't do it. If I unpin it, I can now move it quite easily, but that way it's a conscious decision. So I find this really good to help me set out what my overall perimeter is. This is, I'm going to trace it in a minute. And these lines might represent bits of information like a setback, or this is the outside face of a structural wall that we want to make sure we don't change. So if our wall moves inadvertently by clicking and hitting our mouse, then that way it will be a visual reminder that we haven't set it up right. These reference planes also will appear in the next level above, and in all levels for that matter. They don't print, we don't need to worry about turning them off. Don't go crazy with them, but I think setting up the perimeter wall is a good start. Now I'll finish these two off. I've got 8880 from that side and 54 from that side. Enter, select. All right, being very careful which bits I'm adjusting. That's why I got you to lock them in first. It's really important that we get those right, and then to adjust this width and that width, this is the line we're moving and that's the line we're moving. If we were to move this one to get that position right, then the entire overall would be wrong. Now once we've got these correct, and of course I'm going to lock the last two in, I've just used a crossing window there, by the way. That means I'm in no command, I'm clicking in the middle of the screen and I'm moving my mouse back towards the left hand side of the screen. Everything that I touch will be selected, and I've neglected to notice this section view. So I might need to just zoom in a little bit more. There we go. And pin those. Okay, now we're ready to start doing the walls.